I have been on my game. Not that I, haven't been like this whole time, but I woke up this morning and I took like just kind of a quad flexing picture. And shit, man, I don't know if it's like everything evenly distributed, but I feel like my legs are getting close to something. That's for freaking sure. Like even after cardio today, when I go into the bathroom, I'm sure there's going to be like side grain and, well, let's just say we're getting lean. I didn't bring a scale, and there's not a scale at this house, so I don't know exactly what my morning weight has been these last few days, but I know that my calorie intake has been right where I want it, actually a little bit low on some days. That combined with kind of a little extra activity of, kind of running around and walking places and doing the snowmobiling a little, like not crazy, but it does add up. So I've been doing 2,500, 2,200 one night, but yeah, I could tell I'm as flat as I think I want to be, especially yesterday. Like that was a really lean, grainy chest day, but that was one of my flattest pumps so far, which is the point, because I'm trying to minimize my glycogen burning and maximize my fat burning, so, well, that's a good description of that, right? It's like I've got a bunch of Tinder firewood that's like really, whatever the freaking word is, that's very just ready to burn. Those are carbs. And then I've got some logs. I'm trying to run through the logs, so it's a little bit of a slower process, if you get what that analogy is supposed to mean. But this morning, I decided I want to have a carbed up pump. So let me pull up the calorie tracker just to actually make sure I'm not remembering this wrong. Yeah, so it's noon now, or it's 1 now. So over the course of the last couple hours this morning after I got up, I slept in a little more. 283 grams of carbs, 43 grams of fats, and no protein. No protein. My logic is if I eat a bunch of carbs and some accompanying fats from some foods that I really kind of wanted to eat, then I'm gonna get that like sort of carved up fueled effect during the workout this morning, and then all my meals afterward, since they're still going to be protein heavy, are going to make it easier for me to kind of still stick to my stuff. But honestly, today, if I went totally off the rails, I don't think I could throw off my progress, just based on how, oh my god, dropped the pre, just based on how lighter and kind of leaner, and at the pace that I'm getting leaner these last couple of days. Yeah, a nasty, insane refeed, like just totally off the wall cheat day, I don't think it'd throw me off, but I'm not going to do it. I still know it's going to be better for me to stay on my regular track. So I'll have maybe a few extra 100 calories today, but that's one benefit of being really consistent with your cardio. And if you're actually doing 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes at night, even just half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night, that's like my normal right now. 30 minutes a day, that's baseline regular. But when you do a bunch more extra cardio, you get a little bit of leeway. If you're on track with your, it's like being a good employee. Your boss might cut you some slack sometimes and say, hey man, you know what? It's Friday. You guys don't even paint today. Just go, go check out this, and this, and you're cool. Me and Mark got a little bit of that sometimes when we were working together at the city. But yeah, so I'm feeling very good. Last year, in prep for the Arnold Amateur, which this year is 1 week later, so there is one more week compared to the difference. So right now, I'm the same time away from the show as January 7th-ish of earlier this year. So it's a little bit different, but for the most part, the total same setup. But I'm feeling very, very comfortable. And maybe comfortable is not the word, but at least very confident that I know I'm going to be able to get myself into the shape that I want to get in without having to pull back all stops, try to do 4 hours of cardio a day, and, you know, go totally like freaking keto. So I feel like I've got a really big exam coming up, and I'm already a few chapters ahead in terms of the you know, the studying and the topics that the course would go over, and I already know what's going on, you know, and that's a good feeling. I'd call that the benefit of sort of the benefit of proficiency. You know, if all the stuff that you want to do you're on track with, you do get a little bit more of like a kind of rounded, just, you know, comfortable feeling with yourself, because it's like, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're good, right? That's a very satisfying feeling to have. And it's not like, you know, insane cloud nine, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I did my cardio today, or you know, F yes, whoops. But it's just, it's a nice baseline, right? Like, I've watched a couple of videos where guys break down like pathological dopamine chasers, where it's like, you know, you're either constantly like chasing something crazy, like, okay, we got to go out, we got to go do that, and then it's just always back and forth with highs and lows, and you're always chasing those highs again. I like to think that I just want to stay in the green, you know. I don't need to be doing anything super crazy, wacky. I just need to be baseline, happy and chill as much as I can, and that usually adds up to everything else that I'm working on just improving. So that this morning is going to be an arm pump. So an arm pump with not so much full. Now I'm sure a good chunk of those carbs have kind of been, you know, digested and allocated where they need to be. But a decently fed arm pump, still with a semi-decently empty stomach, because I haven't eaten a crazy amount of food today. I'm excited. So let's see how we're looking. Just a little bit more carbed up than normal. All right. Yeah, game plan: 3 curls, 3 push downs, 2 curls, 2 push downs, 1 curl, 1 push down. Maybe a superset to finish, but that should be pretty good. So let's start with curls first. Normally I start with buys, normally I start with tries, so this is a good change up. One more like that. Or 2 more, I mean. All right. Okay. Yeah, 1 more of those, and then some push downs. Okay. Yeah, let's do some tries. All right. Just light single arm. And these are deceivingly good at pumping up your triceps. But you gotta be a little patient with it. Yeah, that's good. Two more of those. A little heavier. One more. Let's do some curls. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, shit. Okay. Holy crap. Okay. Let's move on to a basic ass push down. That'll be good next. Ooh. Okay, while we're here, let's just get straight into a curl. Let's do 2 supersets and that'll be all. One more. Okay. Alright, getting a little extra fancy with the phone connection so I can see my own freaking reflection. But 300 carbs is not supposed to make me feel like my arms are as wide as my waist, which they're not, but I mean, we hit like a little vacuum kind of shot. Not incomparable. But let's see how a classic Christmas tree is looking on this fine December 29th. It's not even morning, well, whatever. I mean, shit. I tell you something, that's a lat spread for me. Oh, man. Whoops. A little cramped. But shit, I'm feeling pumped. Thickness of this kind of body fat layer certainly coming down. Slowly but surely. But I mean, 3 months ago, there was none of this. Like, not even a hint. And then now I'm getting it like all the way, oh, shit, like all the way over there. No, man, good signs to come, that's for sure. So, I'm gonna go get in the treadmill. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. All right, there we go. Yeah, a couple more days, and then back to Ohio. And then a little bit of a quick turnaround, headed straight over to Los Angeles for the Fit Expo in LA. I think they're actually getting close to, I guess it's the LA Fit Expo to be more correct. But I think they're not selling tickets for a few more days. I gotta wait for this guy to peel off next to me, so let me just look it up first. Yeah, the Fit Expo. No, not the 4 Expo. The Fit Expo. Yeah. Oh, okay, no, 25% off. So, ending... Oh, if you're watching this the day that this video gets posted, 12 o'clock at night, or 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So, whatever that is. But if you're on the fritz, they are 25% off. And there are going to be some characters there. I can tell you that much. I know Jay Cutler's going. I know the twins are going. I know Ronnie Coleman's going. That's pretty cool. You know, you don't see those kind of characters every freaking day, that's for sure. So if you're in the area, I really would recommend it. Or even, if you're not going to go to a full-on expo, or that's just out of the way of the schedule, I mean, it's not as fun if you don't know anybody there. But even going to just like a local bodybuilding show is kind of a similar effect. You don't really get to see guys like that very often, and when you do, I think it can be a little bit of a catalyst for some extra motivation. I forgot to plug in the address. So the first time I ever went to a bodybuilding show was in Columbus, it was in Worthington. I forget the exact name of the show. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the first time I ever went to a show, I'm kind of beefy, I'm getting there. I could bench 315, and I'm looking at the amateur guys, and I'm like, all right. Or no, we see the novice guys come out first, and I'm like, all right, I can hang with these guys. I'm feeling pretty. I'm like, feeling myself a little bit, and then the guys who are really, showing up to kill it pulled in. These are the dudes who are walking around like, top of at least NPC weight class for men, or for classic physique. Yeah, they were pretty big. That shut down my little like, oh, I am pretty big kind of thought process, and it just kind of got me a little bit more amped. So I remember I drove home and I was really excited to freaking get serious, because it's like, if you're in your own little bubble sometimes, or maybe you're in, you're lifting at your local YMCA, you're getting pretty big, you're the biggest guy there, or whatever version of that is your situation, and then you see somebody who's like a freak, straight freak, it changes your perspective a little bit, and social media, just your phone doesn't translate that all the time. Like if you've ever seen somebody like a Derek Lunsford in person, whoa, it's pretty nuts. Just really puts these guys' size into perspective. So just keep an eye out. And then if you're more on that, northeast side of places, well, guess what? The Arnold's coming around, and I'll be bouncing around there too. So that'll be freaking sweet. Just 67 more days. I got a little tracker on my phone that says it's 67 more days until the Arnold Classic. Just so I don't forget, and I've got it at the freaking top of my mind. But that was a good pump, and oh god, because I know I'm gonna eat a little bit of extra food today. Not like a lot, but like a few hundred calories extra. I was really getting after it on the treadmill. But the thing's in kilometers an hour, which is kind of annoying. Like I need miles, but I'm doing like 5-ish kilometers an hour. I think that's like a little over 3 miles an hour. 5% incline. That was kind of my combo the last few days, 5 and 5. But I'm getting a little extra into it. I'm like, all right, let's get real. 7% incline, 6 kilometers an hour. So just a little bit quicker. So I'm really freaking kind of trudging my way through there. I got some music playing. I'm going back and forth between Clash Royale and just scrolling like hype up TikToks. So I did a full hour instead of just 45 minutes. I don't need to do the hour, but sometimes I like to do the hour just because I know that I'm doing a little bit extra. But my bar right now is 45 minutes in the morning, or at least 45 minutes in the early session, 45 minutes in the night session. That's my baseline. And if I can tell I got a little spunk, I'll up it a little, And if I came in and I really felt like I was overdoing it, like if I could feel like, I'm like, it just actual legit fatigue, not like I'm just kind of tired, I'm probably fatigued, like real legitimate fatigue, well then I'd say, okay, let's take this cardio session off, back off a little bit on the intensity, and just kind of focus on the recovery once I get back to the house and get some food in my system. But no, that was good. So yeah, now I'm gonna go eat some something. Not exactly sure what. And we're getting close. I think tomorrow is going to be the last lift of the year. Tomorrow's or at least the last video of the year. Really, January 1st is going to be my last lift of the year, but that, that doesn't really count. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be it, man. 365 days. Boom. Or is this a leap year where it's 364? Either way, how'd you spend it? Did you just totally kind of just chill the whole time? In the moment, chilling obviously is pretty cool, and everybody needs a certain amount of chilling just to counteract grinding. There's a good balance in there so that you can grind effectively and then chill and kind of reload, that sort of deal. But did you chill too much? I think that's probably the biggest obstacle that we face currently. Is it's highly addictive to chill. It's highly addictive to just do jack, scroll on your phone, not even like go down a YouTube rabbit hole where you're like looking into an interest or something. I think that's at least a level above just like scrolling Instagram reels and watching TikToks and stuff, like stuff that's actually stupid and legitimately basically just wasting time. That's something I'm personally trying to work on, and I have a bad problem. Like I can't, like I deleted some of these apps off my phone, but I still search it up because I post on some of these too, so I kind of have to have them a little. Or I don't have to, but I decide to. But yeah, that's my resolution, which is not a resolution. It's just something I've been trying to do anyway. But that's what I would call my current resolution. Just trying to work on my freaking doom scrolling, so I'm not just scrapping around. Doesn't mean I'm not going to scroll through some reels during cardio, but if I should be doing something else, I'm going to try to call myself out a little bit more, just a little bit at least. So that's the plan. Not it's not the end of the year yet. We got one more day, but I don't think there's anyone in the world where you could somehow tie anything of like massive value in terms of progress or just like personal development or whatever in one day. It just doesn't happen. There might be that one guy in your school who never studied and then he got an A on the final because he crammed all night. That's a High School Musical movie. That shit doesn't happen for real. It's the actual work that works. It's not flashy. It's not really cool. It's slow, but it adds up well. If you have a freaking leak in your ceiling and it's just a little drop, and then maybe you leave the house for a couple of weeks or something or whatever, guess what, man? Your house is going to flood. It doesn't matter how slow it's going, because if it just keeps going and never stops, right, results will accrue. Results will make themselves apparent. So that's probably the biggest thing that I like to think that I can separate myself from people who aren't getting after it. Isn't based on effort. It's not based on like, okay, how hard can I go? I want to go hard for the fun of it. Like I like to come in and hit a gnarly lift and get a pump, and like I like sitting in front of the mirror looking at myself and saying, all right, let's get this. Like I like that part. But it's the slow stuff. It's the cardio. It's the calorie counting. It's just little things where we all know we should do it. Everybody knows they should go to bed early. They should drink their milk and eat their vegetables and this, that, and the other. But this separating whatever, the people who actually make it happen, that's where shit starts to change. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. So, I guess I know this is like the most cliche thing to say ever, but it really does kind of apply. Just try to cook when no one's looking, man. Not for anyone else's external validation, not to prove a point, not to show that you could do it. If you do have like a chip on your shoulder mentality, I'm not saying totally change your mindset, but just make sure you show up, not for anybody else, but for you. You gotta kind of maintain your own integrity internally so that everything else that you do kind of has that same structure, right? So that's a little bit of jargon in there, but I think we get the basic gist. So look, at least all the roads have been salted, so now I may or may not have almost rear-ended somebody. It wasn't that close. I managed to kind of swerve it in. It was solid, but yeah, I'm gonna get home, get some food in my system, and then get ready to go back there for another I think I'll only do 45 minutes. I'm not going to do the 2 hours today. So that's all I got, man. I will see you tomorrow for the damn new year.